One of the most interesting questions in business is what Clayton Christensen at Harvard Business School calls the innovator's dilemma. And the question is, why is it that great companies get disrupted by external companies? Why can't these great companies disrupt themselves? So if you think about examples, IBM, great mainframe computers disrupted by Dell laptops. Dell disrupted by Apple with the iPad. Apple being disrupted by Samsung. And the list is endless. There always seems to be an external company that reads where the market is going much better than companies that are in it and are actually exceptional companies. And I do think this happens because of what we learn in management, which is listen to your customers. But the problem is, when you listen to your existing customers, you keep improving what you already have. And sometimes you need to stop listening to consumers to anticipate what the new consumer may want. And the reason is because I think companies stop being innovative in a disruptive sense. They still innovate for their existing products, existing consumers, but they don't disrupt themselves. And the question is why? And this is a hypothesis. What happens is, as companies are growing faster and faster after the initial success, their business complexity is also growing. Things are becoming more and more complex. On the other hand, their high potential employee talent is going down the other way because they have less and less high potential talent than they did perhaps when they were small. So when small becomes big, you're suddenly spinning out of control through growth. And then what do? What you do is you introduce processes, bureaucracy, checks and controls, because you want to make the company a safe place for mediocre performers. And therefore I think the challenge really is, how do you remain small when you become big? How do you stay nimble just as you were when you were a startup entity? And if you can figure that out, then you should be able to disrupt yourself. And some of the recent examples of companies like Netflix, like Amazon, Airbnb, and many others are examples of companies that are constantly disrupting themselves and reinventing themselves from within, rather than waiting to be disrupted by an external company. Some examples of what that means. So a company like Netflix, this is their vacation policy, by the way, which is, we have no vacation policy. That is the policy. Because they treat the employees like adults, they treat them with respect, and they realize the importance of giving them freedom. I also understand that their business expense policy goes something like this. So please treat Netflix's money as if it was your own, and that's it. There's no complicated manuals and controllers who are controlling each other to see who is overspending and how. And therefore, I think it is so important that as you become big, you dramatically increase your high potential talent even faster. And the only way to do that is to ensure that you remain nimble and not bureaucratic and not process driven. And if you do that, and your high potential talent is there, then they will find a way of disrupting themselves before they are disrupted by any other outside company.